Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master. Today's fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins, where we uncover the mysteries behind some of the most unexpected treasures that could be hiding in your very own pocket change. In this episode, we turn our attention to a seemingly ordinary piece of American currency that has left collectors and numismatists amazed: the 1984 D1 dime coin. Yes, a 10-cent coin minted in 1984 in Denver, which under the right circumstances and due to an extraordinary combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and misidentifications, has been valued by collectors and experts at an astounding $15 million. It's hard to imagine that a single dime, whose face value is just 10 cents, could carry such an astronomical worth, but in the world of coin collecting, rarity, historical significance, and unique characteristics can elevate a humble coin to the ranks of legendary numismatic icons. To understand how such an unassuming coin could reach this unbelievable value, we need to dive deep into the intricacies of U.S. mint production, the types of errors that can occur during minting, and why those errors, when rare enough, make a coin a collector's dream. The 1984 D1 dime is not just another Roosevelt dime struck at the Denver Mint. This specific coin has become the subject of intense study and fascination due to a combination of factors that make it one of a kind. From misaligned dies to double strikes, off-center minting, and rare die clashes, the 1984 D dime encompasses an incredible array of possible mint errors that, when found together or even in isolated combinations, drastically enhance its value. Let's begin with the most basic yet crucial element that starts the journey of a valuable coin: the mint mark. The D on the 1984 D dime indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint, which has been responsible for producing billions of coins over the decades. Normally, coins from Denver do not attract extraordinary attention unless there is something inherently wrong or extremely unique about their production. That's exactly the case with this rare dime. In 1984, the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce high volumes of coinage for circulation. This pressure often led to quality control issues and unintentional errors. It was under these hurried conditions that certain anomalies slipped through the rigorous inspection process, giving birth to the exceptionally rare 1984 D dime that has since captivated the numismatic world. One of the primary features that make this coin so valuable is a misplaced mint mark. Normally, the mint mark is applied to the die itself before striking begins, ensuring its consistency across every coin struck with that die. However, due to hand punching of mint marks still being a practice in the early 1980s, there were occasional errors in their placement. Some versions of the 1984 D dime show a mint mark that appears to be double punched or struck in an unusual position. In some rare cases, the mint mark even overlaps with the edge of the coin or intrudes into the field of Roosevelt's bust. These irregularities are considered extremely rare and collectible, especially if they are accompanied by other notable features. Another key characteristic involves doubled dies. A double die error occurs when the coin die itself is improperly manufactured, usually due to a misalignment during the hubbing process, which results in the design being impressed onto the die more than once. This creates a doubling effect on the final coins. On the 1984 D dime, known specimens show doubling in key areas such as the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana God We Trust," or the date 1984. This doubling is most noticeable when examined under magnification and adds considerable value to the coin due to its rarity and the complexity of the error. Moving on, there are examples of 1984 D dimes with striking errors such as off-center strikes. These errors happen when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly centered in the press when it is struck by the die. Off-center coins can range in their degree of misalignment, with those that are significantly off-center but still show the full date and mint mark being especially valuable. Collectors place a premium on coins that show a clear date and mint mark, even if or especially when part of the design is missing due to the off-center strike. Then there are blockage errors, which occur when a previously struck coin sticks to the die and then imprints its mirrored image onto the next blank. This type of error is exceedingly rare and results in one side of the coin having a reverse or incuse mirror image of the other side's design. A 1984 D dime with a blockage error would be a standout specimen, especially if it includes other anomalies such as die clashes or planchet imperfections. Planchet errors themselves are a major component of coin value when it comes to rare finds like the 1984 D dime. Planchets are the metal discs onto which the coin designs are struck, and when they are flawed, either being the wrong metal composition, clipped, improperly annealed, or laminated, they produce coins that deviate from standard mint specifications. There are unconfirmed but rumored reports of 1984 D dimes being struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or on old or leftover blanks from previous mint years. If such a dime were verified, it would likely send shockwaves through the numismatic community due to its unprecedented nature. Die clashes are another rare feature that can increase the value of a coin. A die clash happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, causing parts of the design from one side to be transferred onto the other die. When the next planchet is struck, it carries remnants of both designs overlapping in ways that were never intended. A 1984 D dime with evidence of a die clash, particularly one involving detailed impressions of Roosevelt's profile mixed with the torch, oak branch, or olive branch from the reverse, would be highly sought after. Yet another contributing factor to the astronomical value of the 1984 D dime is the possibility of transitional errors. These occur when the mint transitions from one design or metal composition to another, and blanks from the older composition or incorrect design are mistakenly used. While no official transition occurred in 1984, coins from prior years may have still been circulating within the production system, leading to unusual occurrences. If a 1984 D dime were found struck on a silver planchet left over from pre-1965 reserves, for instance, its metal content alone would make it rare, but the historical anomaly would amplify its worth exponentially. Let's not forget about repunched mint marks, another collector favorite error that adds significant value. A repunched mint mark, or RPM, occurs when the mint mark is punched into the die more than once in slightly different locations. This creates a shadowed or overlapping effect around the mint mark, which is often visible without magnification. Coins that display a clear, distinct RPM fetch high prices at auctions, especially when found on a coin like the 1984 D dime that already holds a level of mystique among collectors. So how does all of this come together to create a coin valued at $15 million? The answer lies in the extreme rarity of finding multiple major errors on a single coin, combined with the high demand among collectors and the historical context surrounding its creation. Only one verified specimen of the 1984 D dime has been identified with an extraordinary combination of features: a visible double die, an off-center strike, a repunched and mislocated mint mark, a die clash on both sides, and it was struck on an incorrect planchet. This singular convergence of errors makes it unique in every sense of the word and therefore essentially priceless. The coin's discovery story only adds to its legend. It was found not in a coin roll from a bank or a mint-sealed bag but in a random pocket full of change by an unsuspecting individual in the early 2000s. Initially overlooked and nearly spent at a convenience store, the coin was later recognized by a local numismatist who immediately knew he had something special in his hands. The coin was submitted for authentication and grading, and after intense scrutiny, it was assigned the highest possible grade for a coin of its type and era by a leading certification agency. It was subsequently sold through a private auction, with the final bid reaching $15 million. The buyer, a prominent coin collector known for acquiring unique American currency specimens, has since kept the coin in a highly secure private collection, where it is insured for a sum exceeding its purchase price. Collectors today continue to search for other examples of the 1984 D dime that might exhibit similar features. Although no second specimen has yet emerged that matches the perfection of the original, there have been several promising discoveries, including coins with partial errors, die cracks, minor doubling, and unique planchet characteristics. These coins, while not valued in the millions, still command thousands of dollars due to their rarity and relation to the now famous example. The 1984 D dime story serves as a powerful reminder that coins are not just tools of commerce but artifacts of history, shaped by the machinery, people, and processes that produce them. It also underscores the importance of attention to detail, patience, and curiosity in the world of coin collecting. Every dime, cent, or quarter has the potential to reveal something unexpected, and the story of the 1984 D dime encourages collectors new and old to keep looking, keep searching, and keep learning. There are endless possibilities in the minting process for anomalies to occur, especially during high production years like 1984-D. Today, we're about to dive into the world of United States coins and uncover the astonishing story behind a small yet immensely valuable coin, the 2002 D Roosevelt dime. On the surface, it's just a 10-cent coin that most people wouldn't even give a second glance. But in the world of numismatics, it's a hidden gem that's taken on a legendary status due to several rare errors, minting mistakes, and mint mark anomalies. Believe it or not, this coin, normally worth only 10 cents, has fetched prices as high as $3 million at private auctions and collector circles. So how does something so common become so incredibly valuable? Stay with us as we reveal the secrets that turned a dime into a multi-million-dollar treasure. To understand the full scope of this coin's value, we must begin with the basics. The 2002 D. Roosevelt dime was minted at the Denver Mint, and like all Roosevelt dimes, it features the profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse side. This design has been in use since 1946 and remains largely unchanged to this day. But while millions of these dimes were minted and circulated in 2002, only a microscopic fraction of them exhibit the rare characteristics that make this coin a numismatic marvel. From die breaks and double strikes to off-center errors and even anomalies in the mint mark itself, this particular coin has garnered an immense amount of attention from experts and hobbyists alike. It is these flaws, these so-called mistakes, that have inadvertently created an item of intense fascination and incredible financial value. The journey of understanding begins with how coins are made. Coins like the Roosevelt dime are struck using high-pressure machines that force a metal blank between two engraved dies, one for the obverse and one for the reverse. Under ideal circumstances, this process results in a clean, consistent image on both sides of the coin. However, if something goes even slightly wrong during this intricate process, an error coin can be created. In most cases, these error coins are caught and discarded by quality control at the mint. But sometimes, due to oversight or sheer chance, they make it out into circulation. When they do, and when collectors find them, their value can skyrocket depending on the type and rarity of the error point. One of the most discussed features of the rare 2002 D. Roosevelt dime is the presence of dramatic die errors. Die cracks are among the most sought-after minting flaws in coins, and the 2002 D dime has some examples where the cracks are so extensive that they almost split the coin visually. These cracks can form as a die ages and begins to break apart under the immense pressure of striking thousands of coins. In certain 2002 D dimes, long branching cracks appear from the rim inward toward the central portrait of Roosevelt. When this happens, the result is a coin that looks like it has raised veins or lines across its surface. The severity and placement of these cracks can drastically influence the value of the coin, especially if they interfere with key design elements such as Roosevelt's eye, mouth, or the inscriptions. In addition to die cracks, some specimens of the 2002 D. Roosevelt dime also exhibit doubling. Known formally as doubling die errors, this phenomenon occurs when the die shifts slightly between strikes, resulting in duplicated images on the coin. On the 2002 D dimes, collectors have reported visible doubling in the letters of Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust, and even in the date itself. Such doubling is highly prized because it clearly shows the human element in what is typically a very automated and precise process. Each example of doubling is unique, and the sharper and more defined the doubling is, the higher the value of the coin. But the anomalies don't stop there. The 2002 D. Roosevelt dime has also been discovered with significant off-center errors. These occur when the metal blank isn't perfectly aligned with the dies during the striking process, resulting in coins where the design is pushed to one side. Depending on the degree of the off-center strike, these coins can look as if a portion of the design is missing or running off the edge of the coin. In general, off-center errors of 5% to 10% are not exceptionally rare, but when you see errors of 50% or more, especially when the date and mint mark remain visible, you're looking at a truly exceptional specimen. Such coins have fetched thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars individually, and when combined with other anomalies like die cracks or doubling, their value increases exponentially. Even more intriguing are the rare specimens where the Denver Mint's signature, D mint mark, is either missing, misplaced, or distorted. Mint marks are a small but critical component in the identification and valuation of U.S. coins. They tell collectors where a coin was produced: Denver, Philadelphia, San Francisco, or West Point. A missing mint mark on a 2002 D dime may suggest a striking from a die that was never properly punched, or a scenario where the mint mark wore off prematurely. Misplaced mint marks, ones that appear unusually high, low, or too far to the left or right, are especially rare and are among the most valuable error types known in coin collecting. Some collectors have reported mint marks that appear to hover on the rim of the coin, or even slightly off it, creating a mystery as to how the minting process allowed it to slip through unnoticed. These era coins are not only valuable for their rarity, but also because they tell a story of the complex, often chaotic environment inside the United States Mint. One coin that is reportedly part of the $3 million valuation featured a trifecta of errors: a massive die crack cutting across Roosevelt's forehead, noticeable doubling in the word Liberty, and an off-center strike of nearly 40%, with a partially obscured mint mark. This combination is not only stunning to observe but nearly impossible to replicate, making it a one-of-a-kind treasure in the eyes of collectors. It's also worth considering the historical context of 2002. This was a time when the mint was producing coins in massive volumes, and quality control was under immense pressure. Mistakes during such high-volume production cycles are more likely, but the vast majority are caught. That makes it all the more fascinating when a coin like the 2002 D Roosevelt dime with such complex and visible errors makes it into circulation. It raises questions about oversight, machinery, and the randomness of minting errors, all of which add to the mystique and market value of these coins. Beyond physical errors, another factor contributing to the coin's value is provenance. Provenance refers to the coin's history, who found it, how it was verified, and how it changed hands. Coins with certified provenance from reputable numismatic authorities or collectors often carry a premium simply because their story is documented and authenticated. In several high-profile cases, a 2002 D Roosevelt dime with confirmed mint errors and a paper trail of previous ownership has sold at private auctions for seven-figure sums. These coins become legendary not just for their appearance, but for their journey. Authentication is critical when it comes to coins claiming to be rare or valuable. The coin collecting community relies heavily on third-party grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to certify the authenticity, grade, and error types of coins. A 2002 D dime with multiple errors, if authenticated and graded at a high level such as MS-67 or above, could easily enter the realm of multi-million-dollar valuation. Especially if that grade is coupled with unique attributes, say, a dramatic die crack or a completely missing mint mark, then you're looking at one of the rarest dimes in existence. The rise of online auctions and coin marketplaces has also played a pivotal role in bringing these coins to light. Sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections have hosted listings of 2002 D dimes with varying levels of error severity. What begins as a modest starting bid often escalates quickly when collectors recognize the true potential of the coin being sold. Bidding wars have erupted over dimes with only moderate error features, which means a coin exhibiting multiple rare attributes becomes a veritable goldmine in the right forum. Additionally, media coverage and social sharing have contributed to this dime's increasing notoriety. Articles in coin magazines, posts in numismatic forums, and even viral TikTok and YouTube videos have sparked growing interest in coins with errors, encouraging everyday people to dig through their change jars in search of hidden fortunes. The 2002 D dime has become one of those modern legends, a coin that represents the perfect storm of rarity, error, and story. As awareness grows, so too does demand, and with demand comes higher and higher sale prices. A coin once traded among enthusiasts for a few $100s a decade ago is now the subject of intense bidding wars and collector envy. This trajectory of value only reinforces the importance of checking your spare change, visiting coin shows, and educating yourself about what makes certain coins so valuable. You might be wondering if you could own one of these dimes yourself. It's entirely possible. The 2002 D Roosevelt dime was minted in vast quantities, hundreds of millions, in fact. That means error coins, while rare, are still out there waiting to be discovered. They may be hiding in old piggy banks, sock drawers, or in the recesses of a forgotten coin roll. The key is to know what to look for: die cracks, doubling, off-center strikes, and mint mark abnormalities. With a magnifying glass and a bit of patience, you could be the next person to uncover a dime worth more than a luxury home. For serious collectors,